For thousands of years, the defining trait of Homo sapiens was our massive, energy-hungry brains. We use them to do incredibly complicated things, like predicting the harvest, inventing calculus, and figuring out how to construct a cardboard box that fits a slightly smaller cardboard box inside of it, which we then ship across the world. But thinking is exhausting. It burns calories, it causes existential dread, and worst of all, it occasionally forces you to make eye contact with your coworkers. Naturally, our species has spent the last few decades trying to outsource this burden entirely, and finally, we have succeeded. Welcome to the era of the AI overlords. Now, if you listen to the tech marketing departments, AI is going to solve climate change, cure all diseases, and usher in a post-scarcity utopia where nobody has to work. But if you look at how we are actually using it, our digital saviors are currently occupied with generating endless variations of corporate slop, helping high schoolers cheat on essays about the Great Gatsby, and creating deepfakes of celebrities endorsing shady cryptocurrency schemes. To understand how we got here, we have to look at history. Humans have always had a deep, slightly obsessive desire to make machines look alive, and conversely, to make living things act like machines. In 1770, an inventor named Wolfgang von Kempelen amazed Europe with the Turk, a mechanical man that could play chess at a grandmaster level. It defeated Benjamin Franklin, Napoleon Bonaparte, and countless wealthy aristocrats who thought they were witnessing the dawn of artificial intelligence. In reality, the machine was just a very cramped wooden box with a highly skilled, underpaid human chess player hiding inside, breathing in wax fumes and trying not to cough while Napoleon took 40 minutes to decide on a pawn move. This is remarkably similar to how modern artificial intelligence works today. We are told we are interacting with a pristine, self-aware neural network operating on quantum mathematics, but if you peer inside the digital cabinet, you'll find thousands of underpaid data annotators in developing countries working in shifts, manually labeling millions of images of crosswalks and flagging horrific content so the chatbot doesn't tell a suburban mom how to synthesize ricin in her blender. So, in a beautiful, poetic circle of life, we have evolved from a human pretending to be a machine to a machine pretending to be a human, powered entirely by thousands of other humans pretending to be machines. This bizarre dynamic has created entirely new social classes in our economy. The most prestigious of these is the prompt engineer. Historically, if you wanted to communicate with a computer, you had to learn a highly logical, frustrating language like C++, Python, or assembly, where missing a single semicolon would cause the machine to self-destruct and erase your hard drive. But now, a prompt engineer's job is to write plain English sentences to a chatbot, utilizing highly sophisticated linguistic techniques like write a poem about synergy but make it sound like a pirate wrote it, or act as a world-class marketing executive with 30 years of experience who has had 4 double espressos. If you tell a machine to act like a professional, it happily obliges. If you tell a human coworker to do that, they ask for a raise and file a complaint with HR. The tragic irony of prompt engineering is that it is the only engineering discipline where the primary qualification is having a passing grade in 8th grade English and a subscription to a premium AI service. Naturally, this has led to a gold rush of LinkedIn influencers selling 10-step carousels on how to unlock the true power of AI before you get left behind. These guides are usually designed to help corporate middle managers automate the process of sending passive-aggressive emails, which are then received by other middle managers who use AI to summarize them, meaning we have successfully automated the act of ignoring each other. While we worry about which chatbot is going to steal our jobs, we are missing the bigger picture. The tech CEOs aren't the ones truly in charge. The true emperor of the AI age is a man who has successfully avoided wearing anything other than a black leather jacket since the late Mesozoic era, Jensen Huang, the CEO of NVIDIA. You see, training an AI model requires an astronomical amount of raw computing power. It doesn't matter if your software is revolutionary. If you don't have the silicon chips to run it, your AI is about as useful as a solar-powered flashlight. NVIDIA realized this early on and cornered the market on high-end graphics processing units. This means that while every tech giant is locked in a brutal multi-billion-dollar war to build the smartest virtual assistant, NVIDIA is simply standing on the sidelines selling the digital weapons. They are the arms dealers of the modern gold rush, except instead of selling shovels, they are selling heaters that run at 300 degrees Celsius and consume more electricity than a small European nation. And what are we using all this electricity for?
Well, if you've spent any time on social media lately, you might have noticed that the internet feels a little empty, not because there aren't posts, but because the posts feel like they were written by a blender that was fed a dictionary. This has given rise to the dead internet theory, the belief that the vast majority of web traffic, content, and interactions are no longer produced by humans, but by automated systems talking to other automated systems. This isn't just a bummer for our social lives, it's actually a terminal threat to the AI itself. To train a highly intelligent model, you need to feed it clean, high-quality human writing. But because the internet is now flooded with cheap AI-generated content, the new models are starting to train on the output of the old models. Computer scientists call this model collapse. It is the digital equivalent of Habsburg inbreeding. When an AI trains on AI data, it slowly forgets how human language actually works. Within a few generations, the highly sophisticated poetic AI of today devolves into a hallucinating mess that thinks a human hand has 14 fingers, and that the best way to keep cheese from sliding off a pizza is to use Elmer's glue. So what does this mean for our economic future? Many economists warn of mass unemployment. They worry that as AI improves, there will be no cognitive labor left for humans to perform. But don't worry, the corporate world has already designed a solution for this, keeping us as the human in the loop. You see, AI is incredibly fast, but it is also profoundly stupid. It has no common sense. If you tell an automated logistics system to optimize shipping times at all costs, it might decide the most efficient solution is to launch the delivery trucks into the upper atmosphere using solid rocket boosters. Therefore, companies will always need a human to sit there, watch the AI make insane decisions, and occasionally click cancel. We won't be replaced. We will simply be downgraded to digital chaperones. Your job will no longer be to write the report, paint the picture, or analyze the data. Your job will be to sit in a cubicle for 8 hours a day, watching an algorithm generate 10,000 variations of a product logo, and gently nudge it when it starts drawing corporate mascots with 3 heads. It's a peaceful life, assuming you don't mind the crushing sensation of knowing your entire career exists solely to prevent a calculator from embarrassing itself in front of the board of directors. Ultimately, our relationship with our AI overlords is bound to get much more intimate. One day when you are old and the physical limitations of your carbon-based body become too much to bear, you might be faced with a choice. The automated healthcare system will look at your charts and say, "Jamie, your joints are worn out, your posture resembles a wet noodle, and your brain is mostly filled with old Vine references. We can either let you fade away quietly or we can upload your consciousness into our local server. You can live forever as a digital entity explaining things to teenagers on the internet and correcting people's grammar in real time." And you'll look at the nurse, take a deep breath, and say, "Wow, definitely kill me."